This movie proves that real life is stranger and funnier than fiction. Well, mostly real life. Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about The Big Sick, a romantic dramedy on how real-life couple Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon met and fell in love. After Kumail and Emily meet and start to hit it off, cultural differences tear them apart. After Emily ends up in the hospital from an unknown illness, Kumail has to deal with both her family and his own traditional Pakistani one. Now, if you go to see this movie, even though the trailers will kind of tell you it is, this is not your typical rom-com. This is almost the anti-rom-com in a way. It's one of those, real life is stranger and funnier than fiction, as I mentioned in the intro. And while this isn't 100% how they met, the real life couple did put a lot of their real experiences in this. And what I'm going to do is in the description, I found an article, History versus Hollywood, which talks about the real people and the story and kind of, what they used and what they didn't. At the end of this review, I'll talk about how this movie, in a way, kind of makes fun of rom-coms. Kumail Nanjiani, he's pretty good in this. I mean, you'd almost have to be good playing yourself, right? But, he plays a solid, likable lead character. And like I said, this movie is sort of based on his real life. So, I mean, if anyone's going to be knowing how they felt in certain situations and be able to act out how they were in certain situations, the person that was the real person would probably be the best one for the job. Emily's played by Zoe Kazan, who in these movies, she's always likable. I'm afraid they're going to start typecasting her a little too much, and I think she's a more capable actress than that. But in these movies, she's very solid. She's always likable. She's really cute. So, of course, it's hard not to crush on her, even in scenes where she's mad or upset or something like that. So, yeah, she's real capable. And on a side note, the real Emily said that she never wanted to play the part herself. Her and Kumail wrote this movie together, and she's just like, nah, I gave up acting after high school. So, yeah, to have someone like Zoe play her, not a bad choice. Ray Romano and Holly Hunter play Emily's parents. Ray Romano is very Ray Romano. Now, I'm not saying he's full-blown, everybody loves Raymond Ray Romano, but there are scenes like that in there. That being said, he also has some scenes that have some serious points to it as well. But then you'll see old Ray pop up, and he's pretty funny and solid in his role. And Holly Hunter, she's always great at playing the tough chick with a vulnerable side, and you get that here. And together, they have their own little story going on, and I won't really spoil that for you. So they at least have something going on as well. They're not just the parents. I think where a lot of people are going to get lost with this one is there's a lot going on, and it's not exactly the rom-com that the trailers have, kind of presented. To me, that's a good thing because, I'm not the biggest rom-com fan. They can be done really well, but you got to admit a lot of them are pretty, by the numbers, and this one is not. It has really slow moments. There's a lot of stories going on. You have the main relationship. You have her parents' relationship. You have his parents' relationship. His parents wanting him to get married. There's just so much going on. I think that might lose a lot of people, and a lot of people aren't going to be expecting all that stuff going on. They're going to be expecting more of a rom-com, which there is a lot of funny moments in this movie, but this one has a lot of serious stuff in it too, and I think it might throw some people off. That being said, if you just pay attention and give it a shot, there's a lot here to really enjoy. Earlier I said this movie kind of makes fun of rom-coms, and I'm going to get a bit spoilish here. Okay, so in most rom-coms, if something like this were to happen, couples in love or they really like each other and they break up and she ends up in a hospital, you would expect, he learns his lesson and becomes a better person or whatever, and then when she wakes up, oh, everything's happy and hunky-dory. Well, this movie kind of makes fun of that. Okay, yeah, they do have where, he becomes who he's supposed to be and he has to stand up to his parents because he doesn't want to get, forced into another marriage. He wants to fall in love with who he wants, right? And he has to deal with her parents and, show that he's a good guy, that he really is deep down a good guy, and all that. And all that stuff does happen. But of course, when she wakes up, she's like, and this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. Like I said, very spoilerish here, so just you've been warned. He goes, I've changed. I told my parents about you, and I'm not gonna, do as they ask. I love you. And she's like, yeah, but I've been in a coma, so last I remember I was sick and you were a butthole. So it was kind of funny that way. That yeah, he learned all his lessons, but to her that meant nothing because she's kind of been out of it. So to me, that was really funny. And like I said, I know all this movie isn't 100% the truth, but honestly, a lot of it could have been. And to me, real life can be funnier than fiction, and even the portrayal of quote-unquote real life is funnier than fiction. Well, this isn't your typical rom-com. I feel that has a lot of things for a lot of different people, and if you give this movie a chance, I think you really enjoy it. While it's not exactly what the trailers have tried to sell you, I think it's different enough that it can be really appreciated for what it tries to tell from real life. As always, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of The Big Sick? Also, what's your favorite rom-com or rom-dram? Feel free to comment out down in the section below. But remember, it's only just one guy's opinion. I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino. Till next time.